I feel like this is exactly like sex for me. Yeah, it's exactly like sex. Me, the comedian, playing the role of the man, and you, the audience, the role of the woman. Because it's my job to satisfy you. And you just have to sit there. And then just like sex, my success or failure is somehow determined by how much noise you make during my performance. So I hope you aren't the quiet types. I feel like you're faking it now. Montreal. I didn't know that the place was this French. I did not know Montreal was this French. Like people said it's bilingual, meaning two, like bicycle, but it's not, it's French. It's French, like with more French. That's all it is. It's like French. The pharmacies are French. I may need medical assistance and it's in French. Vous. I don't know what these things are. Everything is in French. The signs are in French. Everything. The streets are in French. The restaurants are. The only thing that's in English is the signs. This is like the signs that lead you to the airport. Those are in English. Yes, on the highway. Are you leaving? English. This way. Yes. Airport. Bon voyage. It's just French, everything French. Even the people are defiantly French. Like you walk into stores and people will greet you. They'll greet you in French and then you'll reply in English and they don't respond. They wait for you. Almost like you will crack under the pressure and turn French. Just walk in, bonjour. Oh no, hello. Such a different world for me, the French. My friends back home are loving it. They're like, oh, you go to Montreal, you're speaking French. French is the most romantic language in the world. Oh, it's romantic. I'd see it as a romantic language, but I'm not enamored by French. I appreciate the language, but it's not my I don't think it's the sexiest language. I think French is too hesitant to be the sexiest language, in my humble opinion. There's not enough confidence in the language. Just, it was, how you say, like it's just not, no wonder they never won any wars. There's just no, oh, come on, what are you gonna fight the Germans, the most efficient race on the planet, and you stuttering and stammering? These people attack with blitzkrieg, that is the speed of lightning, and it was, how you say, these people are, imagine the bombings are happening. The French are there, the Germans are coming in flying low, about to drop bombs. The Germans are there, the French running into the barracks like, Sergeant! Oui, Philippe. What is it? The Germans! They are, how you say, not so sexy anymore. Surfing is a crazy sport. There's no need for you to be in the water at that time. You might get eaten by a shark. I do not feel sorry for you. I feel bad, but not sorry, because you knew the thing was there. What's crazy is you even have experts that defend sharks. I don't even know when this started. When did we start defending killers? Like, we defend them. They're out there in the ocean, they're killing and stuff. And then you have these shows, Discovery, Shark Week, 50-50, shark experts. And they come out, hi guys, I just want to tell you a little bit about sharks. Did you know that sharks aren't the mean killers everybody paints them out to be? Sharks don't even like eating humans. They don't. How do you know this? How do you know this? I mean, for things that don't like humans, they've eaten a lot of them, eh? You have to admit. They've eaten a hell of a lot. Surely the memo would have gotten around by now. No, they don't like eating humans. What happens is they get really confused, because from underneath they see you paddling on the surface and they mistake you for a seal. They think you're a seal and they come up and they grab a bite, and then by the time they realize you're not a seal, it's too late. It's not their fault. They're just sharks. Like, really? Why don't those same people come and defend like black people when people are saying black people commit crime, black people crime? Like, why don't they have those same people there, Like, these blacks always robbing people, these blacks always, and they come and, well, actually, guys, black people don't like crime. Yeah. What happens is they get like really poor because of things that have happened in the past. And then like some of them resort to criminal activities to try and make ends meet. And so when they see you from far, they just get confused because you look like an ATM. Because you freeze every time they see you. You freeze, and then they poke you and money comes out. Yeah. It's not their fault, they're just poor. It's a lot of rubbish, that's what it is. Sharks don't like people. How do they know? Do they ask them, yeah, don't like, tastes like mama tired. I don't surf. I sit on the beach and I enjoy it from there. It looks beautiful, I enjoy it. And I'm sitting on the beach in Malibu. And it's during the week, so it's really empty. There's just one girl surfing out there, California babe, and she's rocking it, you know, and she's got long blonde hair and tan, looking very fake, and just like, you know, she's riding her board and doing her thing, and all those unnecessary surfing moves that people do, you know. Just stay here, there's no need for, and surely, sure enough, at the end of it, like, she's doing those things, and the wave comes like, and I was like, you're dead. But she wasn't. And she comes out of the water and she's having the time of her life. And she looks over at me and she's like, hey there. Are you like gonna come in? The water's like super amazing. I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here and watch you. You're very good. Keep it up. She's like, oh, MJ. You talk funny. No, I don't talk funny. You talk funny. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa. She's like, oh, wow. Like Africa? How did you get here? What? I used my monkey grip under the plane. How did you get here? She doesn't even wait for my answer. She runs, she's in the water, she's doing her thing, surfing, having a good time, doing those things. She comes back out, and now all of a sudden we're best friends. She runs out onto the beach, she's like, hey, Africa! I'm like, hey, America. So like, you don't surf at all? I said, no, I don't. Where I'm from, we don't really surf. Johannesburg, there's no surfers out here, you know? She's like, oh, that's too bad. Like, do you guys have waves in Africa? Do we have waves? A grown human being asks me if we have waves on a continent. Like, no, we don't. Yeah, by the time the water gets to our side of the world, it's just so tired. It's just, you know, so worn out from all the traveling. It tries, it just, Do we have waves? She's brilliant. She says this and she runs back into the water, and every time she goes out there, it's like she comes back more stupid. It's almost like she's fishing for stupidity out there. It's almost like there is a shark. She's like, yeah, ask him this now, ask him this. Because she comes back, and I'll never forget this. Till the day I die, I will not forget this conversation. She comes back onto the beach, and she stands next to me, and she's taking off her wetsuit, and she goes, so, like, Africa, can I, like, ask you a question? So, yeah, go ahead. If you're, like, from Africa, have you, like, ever had AIDS? You know what's funny? Is I wasn't offended by the fact that she said AIDS. But I was offended by the fact that she said, ever had AIDS. Like, AIDS is something you could had, like a passing flu, just, you know? Hey, John, I didn't see you at work last week Thursday. Bro, where were you? Yeah, I had a bit of AIDS there. I just hit me hard. Took some Corinza, now I'm back, bro. Ever had. And you know, I know as a child of a continent that's ravaged by this disease, it's my job, it's my duty to educate people when I meet them. You know, it really is a part of who I am. But you know when you look at someone in their eyes and there's no hope. It's just that old SABC tone, just like doo. You know, so it's only two of us and I'm bored. I figure, why not have some fun? And so I look at her and I'm like, yes. Yes, America. I've had AIDS many, many times. She's like, oh, wow, really? Oh, my God. So aren't you gonna be like super skinny and dead or something? I said, no, AIDS is not as bad as you think. It's just like chocolate, you know? You just shouldn't have too much at one time. You're just like, AIDS. Oh, too much AIDS. And then you stop for a bit, and then after you're like, more AIDS, you know, you just chill. She's like, wow, AIDS is like chocolate? I said, yeah, you should try it sometime. She's like, no, that's disgusting. So then if it's like chocolate, then it's gonna get all melty, and I'll be covered in like AIDS chocolate, and I'll be all sticky, and I'll be all dirty. I was like, yeah, then you just take a shower. For the... No, what are you... Oh no, don't you laugh at my president. Damn you people, damn you. I don't accept your laughter, damn you. Don't you laugh, this has nothing to do with that great man. Turning my jokes against me. No, I will not participate in this madness. How else do you get clean? I love it, man. I love the vibe, you know. I love driving out here, you know. And while I'm out here, I get to listen to the radio, because you guys have great radio stations, because you're always in your cars, you know. In New York, like radio's not a big thing for me living in New York. I ride my bicycle, I walk through the streets. I can't listen to music because I'll die. But in LA, that's all I do. You just listen to music. Now these days when you're driving around, all you hear is trap music. That's the big thing you hear is trap. That's the new music on the radio. It's really fun, trap. I don't understand what they're saying, but I enjoy it, you know. Yeah, every single song is the same. Every trap song to me sounds like a toddler complaining about life. That's all I hear when I listen to trap songs. Every time a trap song plays on the radio, I think of my little brother. He'll go outside, he'll like hurts himself, he'll come back crying, and it sounds like every single trap song ever. He'll like walk in like, and I'll be like, yo, Isaac, what happened, buddy? He'll be like, and I'll be like, yo, dude, slow down. I thought you were playing with your friends. What happened? All my friends are dead. With me to the end. All my friends are dead now. Give me to the end now. I'm trying to leave now. I'll be like, yo, go talk to your mom, man. I don't know what you're saying. Go talk to your mom. My mother is a black woman, Xhosa woman. My father's Swiss from Switzerland. And them being a couple was against the law. And that was a problem for us living together. And so we experienced a ton of racism. And in case you're wondering, yes, Xhosa is one of the languages with the clicks in it, right? Xhosa, but not like in American movies, just so you know. Yeah, I've seen those movies where they have Africans and they're like, that's not a language. Yeah, even we watch those movies and we're like, I wonder what they are saying, yeah? Where are they from? I think they're from Cleveland. I still can't believe the things Donald Trump says. He's such a... For me, Donald Trump is an emotional paradox, I'm not gonna lie. You know, logically, I can process him. Emotionally, I struggle. On the one hand, I will admit, I wake up many days terrified at the notion that he's president of the most powerful nation in the world. But I also must admit, I wake up many days knowing he's gonna make me laugh. Yeah, there's terror and there's joy, and I don't know how to feel. You know what it feels like sometimes? It feels like there's a giant asteroid headed towards the Earth, but it's shaped like a penis. Like, I think I'm gonna die, but I know I'm gonna laugh. Pandemic made people crazy. I thought we were all gonna come together. That's what I believed. From all the movies I watched as a kid, I thought if humans were ever threatened with an existential threat, we would abandon every single fight we were having, and we would come together to win. You know? I thought if that virus came, we'd all be there, we'd be like, all right, no more racism, no more sexism, let's do this together. And we'd go and we'd defeat the enemy aliens, and then we'd come back and be like, all right, let's get back to the racism and sexism. It's like an Independence Day, that's what happened, remember? Yeah, that's what I grew up watching.
Everyone in the world came together to fight the aliens. We stopped all of there was no politics, there was no nothing. We unified and we won. And then in real life, what did? We fought each other and we lost. Who was supposed to be a team? Will Smith was supposed to be our hero. None of it went as planned. As humans, we become so comfortable knowing that we forget how uncertain life is. We get taught every single day that we know. We get comfortable knowing, so you think you'll always know. What's the traffic gonna be like? You know. What's the weather gonna be like? You know. Oh, it'll rain on Thursday. You understand what a magic trick that is? If you had that technology 500 years ago, you were like, oh, it'll rain on Thursday. People would be like, I remember how confident world leaders were as well. Some more cocky than others. One of my favorites was Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson. Yeah, he was an interesting one. He went to a hospital during the pandemic and he was hugging people. Like right at the beginning, he was hugging people, going around hugging people. Journalists asked him, they're like, Prime Minister Johnson, do you think it's appropriate for you to be hugging people during a pandemic? He's like, first of all, everyone needs to calm down. This is not a pandemic. This is not a pandemic. Look at my hair. Do I look stressed? Everybody needs to calm down. Nothing. Everything is fine. Well, I can touch people. We're not shutting down. Everything's staying open. The pubs will stay open. The football's staying open. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go. He's just gone. He didn't give a shit. Huh? America's president. Oh, he was even cockier. Yeah. You see him when he came out, Donald J. Trump? Oh, he had all the swag. He was like, folks, we're gonna have it handled. In 21 days, the virus will be gone. 21 days. Some are even saying 20. That disease came and kicked Trump and Boris deep in the chest. Both men went to the ICU, almost died. Only reason they survived is because they're both heads of state. They gave them that secret juice. Boris, to his credit, he came out of that hospital like he had seen Jesus. He came from the hospital, held a press conference, shut everything down. He came there barely dressed. He was like, everybody, this is not a joke. I've seen it for myself. The UK shutting down. Please, the football's gone. The pubs are gone. Do not take this lightly. I've experienced it myself. I promise, this is not fun. I can't talk to you. I have to go. Please, I can't talk. I have to. And he was just gone. Gone. That man was terrified. I was half expecting coronavirus to come around the corner like... Trump, on the other hand, didn't give a damn. That man will die from being stubborn. He came out of the hospital, could barely breathe, but still held a press conference. Didn't even speak. It was just like... If I can do it, so can you. Such a fun sound. Sound of happiness. The sound of white happiness in particular. Yeah. I've tracked it. I've searched for the source of woohoo and I found it originated with white people. Yeah. White women in particular. Yeah. That's where it comes from. That is the sound of a white woman's turn up. That is the sound of her getting into the game. It's like, Tammy! Woohoo! And that's when you know it's on. Yeah, because everyone else learned it from white women. That's where it came from. You know, it spread through society like a virus. It's not the natural sound anybody else makes. White women make that sound instinctively, but everyone else has learned it. Like, white men were the first ones to learn it because for them it's sort of like a mating call. They know what it means. They have to reciprocate, like, woo! Whoa! But everyone else had to learn it. It's a natural sound for them, but for nobody else. Like, black people woohoo, but it's not the natural sound black people make for fun. You know, black people can woohoo, black people often do woohoo, but it's not instinctively a black sound of happiness. And I think it's because black people are uncomfortable with the woohoo. Deep down inside, there's a certain moment in woohoo when every black person stops enjoying it. There's just a moment when And maybe this is just my personal experiences, but I feel it sounds eerily similar to a police siren. There's just a moment where it stops being fun. It's just that split second where it's like, woohoo, woo, 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 woo. Like, put your hands in the air and keep them there. Terrorism is not a race, it's an act. It has evolved over time. Yes, right now we're dealing with extremism, Islamic terror in some parts of the world. But if you go to other parts of the world and ask them what a terrorist is, they'll show you a different face. You go to England, 20 years ago, when you said, what was a terrorist? They show you a drunk Irishman, right? I didn't need to say drunk, I could have just said Irishman. There was a time when Nelson Mandela was labeled a terrorist. Like, terrorism is an act, it's not a face. People say these things. Well, these Muslims, you gotta admit, there's an awful lot of them doing the same thing. You're like, yeah, but you know who's not a terrorist? Most Muslims. Yeah, most Muslims are not terrorists. I'm not even Muslim, but it gets to me because I'm like, most Muslim people are not terrorists. You know how you know this? Because we're still alive. Yeah. They've had ample opportunity to take us out, people. There's 1 billion Muslim people on the planet. They've had every chance. They could have killed us using those falafels they sell us after midnight when we come out of the club. They could have wiped us all out. But they're killer kebabs. Yeah, I would have never learned about America. I would have never come out to places like Washington, D.C. I would never learned to drive on the other side of the road. I would have never learned about charming racism had I not come to this beautiful country. Yeah. Probably something that changed my life forever. Charming racism. Classic American charming racism. I never knew there was such a thing growing up. And I thought I knew all about racism. I always, coming from the home of some of the best racism in the world, I don't mean to brag, but South Africa is by far, like we've got top quality racism out there. Like, it's handcrafted. You don't get racism like that anymore. Like, I've seen racism all over the world. To be honest, the standards have dropped. It's not what it used to be. Like, I'm talking about quality racism. Now it's cheap and mass-produced, probably made in China now. I'm talking about real racism. I discovered charming racism in a place called Lexington, Kentucky. I don't know if you've ever been, but you really need to go. It's a beautiful place. Old school, charming racism with a smile and the tip of a hat. Everyone in Lexington had this vibe, the smile, the charm, the drawl. Oh, the southern drawl, I love it so much. They would speak out there. The grammar's horrible, but it's still beautiful. No, because the sentences don't really make sense. They'd be like, y'all ain't never gonna see none of them out. And it's like, that's not English. Your autocorrect is broken. I don't know what that is, but it's beautiful. In fact, when they speak really fast, sometimes it sounds like someone's playing a banjo inside their mouths. That's what it sounds like to me. I asked 2 men for directions, and they started arguing. It was the most beautiful sound I've ever heard in my life. The guy was like, where are you going, boy? I said, I'm going to the theater. Can you direct me? He said, oh, you're gonna get on the way on the road. Maybe they don't see long down that way. And the friend was like, no, they ain't getting long, ain't don't buy them, they don't get no same. Like, they never know going don't be no day. They don't get no me, but they ain't gonna make on again don't be. It was almost. It sounded like someone started a Mumford & Sons concert in their mouth. Because 1 minute they were talking, and then they got into it, and the guy was like, "They don't get on why no say like be on the game don't be. Fiddle on don't get on the game on better on why but get on the fine all day. Bound it along me, how it along me, gotta lean on the ground don't they gotta lean no fiddle on why bet get on the warning. Never gonna take that way, gotta lean both fine line then on the game don't play. Get on the ground that way."
What I do when I travel is I try to speak to people in their accent and see if they can catch me out. It's one of my favorite games. Like, I'd walk into a store in Edinburgh and I'd just be like, "Good afternoon. I would like to buy a pair of shoes." You'd be like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Scotland." "Aye, what part?" "Johannesburg." When people say they don't like immigrants, most of the time they're not referring to immigrants who look and sound like them. They're talking about immigrants who speak differently, who look different. You know, because an accent comes with a connotation. You think you know if someone is smart or stupid because of their accent. And yet the truth is an accent is not a measure of intelligence. It's just someone speaking your language with the rules of theirs. Accents have connotations. We cannot deny it. Look at the French. We all believe that the French are romantic. Why? Because of their accents. They've got that thing. I was thinking that maybe we could, how you say, afterwards, maybe we could try to, oh my God, he's so sexy, oh my God. Accents determine how we see people. Same thing happens with the Russians. The Russians, the most feared people on the planet. Why? Because of how they speak. I don't care who you are, you cannot deny that when a Russian speaks, you are not comfortable. As soon as they open their mouths, yeah, go to kill you, break you. I destroy your family. Even if they say nice things, it still sounds menacing and dangerous. Yeah, fluffy rabbits and teddy bears. Happy Valentine's Day. Sounds like a threat. You must remember, I come from an African country, and all over Africa we have traffic lights, but we don't use them. Right? It's less of a command and more of a suggestion. It's not stop, it's stop. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like an African traveled the world, saw that other people had traffic lights, and then just brought them back, but didn't know what they were for. Like the guy was just like, guys, we need to get traffic lights, huh? And we were like, what for? It's for the intersection. It adds atmosphere. I went to Bali on vacation, yeah, out in Indonesia. Yeah, if you've never been, make a plan and get out there. It's an amazing place. I went out with some of my friends, learned a few things about myself as a person. Most important thing I learned is somebody needs to invent a TripAdvisor specifically for black people, right? No, because just generally I find that what white people want to do on vacation is what black people are trying to escape. And not in a bad way, it's just like we want different things out of life, you know? Like my white friends are always inviting me camping, for instance, always. Like with enthusiasm, we're like, Trevor, you want to go camping, dude? I'm like, why? Why? It's like, dude, what do you mean why? It's amazing. You're kidding me? It's like no water, no electricity, you know? It's just like us in the great outdoors. You gotta like take a dump in the hole in the floor or something, dude. I'm like, yeah, that was my life. That was me growing up. You know how hard I worked to never go camping again? Every day I wake up in my bed and I'm like, thank God I'm not camping. If my family saw pictures of me camping, they would be devastated. My grandmother saw me out in the woods, she'd be like, oh, what happened to Trevor? Oh, I thought you were successful. Oh, it must be the crack. Before we went, I asked my friend, I was like, yo, Mitch, what are we gonna be doing? And he was like, dude, don't ask questions, Trevor. It's just gonna be a great time. I was like, yeah, I wanna know what the great time is gonna be about. He's like, dude, don't ask questions. I should have asked questions. Because we had fun, but the trip, like there were a few things that were weird that I wouldn't necessarily do on my own. For instance, on the third day of the trip, right, we had what was planned, what was built in our itinerary as an authentic Balinese experience, right? That's what they called it, an authentic Balinese experience. And what they did was, they woke us up at 5 a.m., put us in a little bus, and we drove for like 3 hours. And when we got there, we get out of the bus, we're like in the middle of it, it's like a remote village, and the little tour guide, really happy, way too happy for that time, and he's just like, welcome everybody, are you ready for a good time? And I'm like, yay. And so he's like, my name is Deng Basan, and I'm going to be your guide. Today, you will have an authentic Balinese experience. So exciting, follow me. And so we follow him, and he walks up to a little door, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like a temple or a cave or something. And he's like, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the real Bali. And he opens the door into somebody's house. This is not a museum house, this is just a house. Like someone lives there
every single day. He opens the door and he's like, this is the home of someone in Bali. He eats here. He sleeps here. I'm like, does he know we're here? Because like we didn't knock. Nobody answered the door. For all I know, we're breaking and entering right now. We're in some weird Balinese gang. I don't know how this works. And as I'm about to ask the question, he turns and he's like, over here you can see the owner of the house. He's in the corner. And we turn and there's a man the whole time. He was just sitting there, frozen stiff. And now I'm like, is this guy part of this? I don't know if we should be doing this or should not be doing this. And Dengba-san turns to him and starts speaking to him in Balinese. He's like, Tengrawada Sangaraka. He's like, okay, you can touch anything. And so I'm like, oh no, I don't think we should. Before I can even finish, the people in our tour group were like, yeah, touch it all. Oh my God, touch it all. Oh my God, does he sleep here? Oh wow, is this where he eats? Oh my God, I could never do this. Oh my God, excuse me, thank you so much for having us. Oh my God, I appreciate my life so much more right now. Thank you so much. This is horrible. Can we take a selfie? Thank you. Are you on Instagram? I'll just put hashtag the man. Thank you. Oh my God. This is like something culturally I'm not supposed to be doing. As an African person, I should not be in somebody's house rummaging through their life. So I'm standing in the corner, really uncomfortable. And the owner of the house, he's really accommodating. He's friendly. You know, he's like, yes, thank you. Enjoy. Thank you. And then he turns and he looks at me. And this was one of the most magical moments, right? Because he was smiling at everyone else, and his face completely changed when he turned. He was all hospitable. He's like, yes, thank you. And with his eyes, he proceeded to have the most in-depth conversation with me that I've ever had. And it's not like the eyes conversation was new to me. Like, you can have an eyes conversation with anyone you have a connection with. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it could be somebody of the same race when you're in public. It could be like a husband and wife. Like, wives are really good at having eyes conversations. They'll shit on you hard. Like, you'll be in public together, and then you'll say something off. You'll be like, oh, if only she did that. And she'll be like, oh, hell no, I cannot believe you said all of that. But it's just eyes. I cannot believe you said all of that. Wait until the next, oh, you want to air our dirty laundry out in public? Oh, you're going to see how this is going to end up. Oh, you say this and enjoy this moment right now because you know it's over. And you're like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. All with eyes, right? That's what he did to me. Because one minute he's smiling at everybody, and then he turns and he looks at me, and just with these eyes, he was like, what are you doing here? And so with my eyes, I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was your house. They said it was an authentic experience, that's why I came. He's like, yeah, authentic for white people. You got your own poor, go back to where you came from. I said, yeah, I shouldn't be here, man. I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. If you expanded your view, you realized that the rise of nationalism is taking place all over the world. In Austria, in Australia, in England, that was what Brexit was all about, right? They made it seem like it was about the economy, but it wasn't. The truth was, it was fundamentally people who wanted their country back. It never went anywhere, but they still wanted it back. I saw people on the news talking to the BBC. That's why I'm voting for Brexit. That's why I'm voting for Brexit, right? Because this bloody country is going to the dogs, right? This bloody country, and I want Britain back. That's why we're voting for Brexit, because we want Britain back. From who? From who? Britain is like 95% white. Who do you want it back from? People saying the weirdest things, the craziest things. These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. I'll tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. Well, that sounds British to me. I mean... If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. I also understand that for me, it is a little bit different. You know, I have a privilege in that I come from a country where the word nigger was never used to oppress anybody. You know, I mean, we had another word,
because we had the best racism, come on now, but not that word. The word we had was the word kafir or kafir. So we had another word, same thing. It's crazy to me as well sometimes. Same racism, different word. And here it means nothing, right? Kafir, nothing. Some people are like, is that like a probiotic? Is that what that is? Yeah, probiotic of my pain. Because we don't have that in our supermarkets for obvious reasons. No one warned me in America. I walked down the dairy aisle. I was like, oh, yogurt, ice cream. Ah! This lactose is intolerant. I still can't believe the things Donald Trump says. He's such a... For me, Donald Trump is an emotional paradox. I'm not going to lie. Logically, I can process him. Emotionally, I struggle. On the one hand, I will admit, I wake up many days terrified at the notion that he's president of the most powerful nation in the world. But I also must admit, I wake up many days knowing he's going to make me laugh. Yeah, there's terror and there's joy, and I don't know how to feel. You know what it feels like sometimes? It feels like there's a giant asteroid headed towards the Earth, but it's shaped like a penis. Like, I think I'm going to die, but I know I'm going to laugh. I had the pleasure of meeting President Obama while he was still in office. Probably one of the craziest experiences I've ever had in my life. Yeah, came out of nowhere. I was at the Daily Show, I was in my office, and I got a phone call from the administration. And someone on the other end was like, hi, Trevor, would you like to interview the President of the United States in the White House? And I was like, do you ask stupid questions? It's like, of course I want to meet the President of the United States. Are you serious? And the day finally came, went to DC with my TV crew, and they set us up in a room which is literally opposite the Oval Office. We put all our cameras in place. All we're doing now is waiting for the president to arrive. So we're staring at the door with bated breath. And the reason we're staring is because they don't give you an exact time of the president's arrival for his safety, right? So they just give you a window, like the cable guy. So we're all waiting there, listening to every footstep, every moment. And then he just popped in behind us, scared the shit out of everybody. Yeah, because there's a secret door, but they don't tell you, again, for safety, right? So we're staring at that door, and all of a sudden he was like, hello. And I was like, ah! But I had a great time in the interview with him. He was really, really kind to everyone in the room. And then we turned off the cameras, and I promise you he became even nicer. We just had a conversation. I thought he was going to leave. I mean, he's president of the United States. You've got to go do something. And he just chilled for a bit, and we spoke as human beings, and it went really well until he turned to me and he said, Trevor, I got a show that I'm doing in a few weeks, a little thing that I thought maybe you'd want to pop by and perform if you don't mind. I said, Mr. President, I would be honored. You just let me know when and where. What's the show going to be for, sir? He said, oh, well, Trevor, I'm doing a little thing for my AIDS, and I thought maybe you'd want to be there. I said, I would love to. Thank you. I'm sorry, a show for what? He said, for my AIDS, Trevor. I said, you have AIDS? And then he explained what he meant. And I wanted the earth to swallow me whole. Because I had just looked at the President of the United States and asked him if he had AIDS. And you know what the worst thing is that he was nice to me as well? Because I said that, and then he explained, and then I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. President, I didn't mean that. I don't even know why I thought it's just like you said AIDS, and like the AIDS, and, because here's the thing, in my defense, right, I get it now. He means AIDS as in the White House aides, the people who help the president. I get it now, but in my defense, where I'm from, AIDS is some other shit that doesn't help anybody. No one in Africa is walking around like, let me introduce you to my AIDS, huh? I speak English, but here people speak American. Similar, but not the same, right? So like small things change, small things, and I accept that small things change, like pronunciation. For instance, the thing you drink, I call that water, yes, water. In American, you say water, right? Water, yeah. I say water because there's a T in the word, right? The glass you see yourself in every morning, I refer to that as a mirror, yeah, right? In American, you say a mirror, right? Amir. Yeah, which is not the same thing to me. A mirror is the glass. Amir is a Middle Eastern man. Very different experience. It's not the same thing. And that's just pronunciation, right? You also have to learn the meanings of words that you already knew when you moved to America. For instance, where I'm from, there's a garment that men commonly wear under their shirts. It's white and it's sleeveless. Yeah? Where I'm from, we refer to this as a vest, okay? I've now learned in American, it is known as a wife beater. Yeah, I have so many questions. Don't be a pussy. The guys say that and then you do what they want. Don't be a pussy. Yeah, don't be a pussy because the pussy is weak. And yet, in my personal experience, I have found the pussy to be one of the strongest things I have ever come across in my life. Don't be a pussy. The vagina is one of the most powerful. You realize vaginas can start revolutions and end wars. You realize even on a physical level, the vagina is one of the strongest things that have ever existed. Virtually indestructible. Many men in this room, many men in this room have tales of how they once defeated the pussy. Let me tell you now, they have not. The owner of the pussy may have given you the impression that you defeated the pussy. But it is alive and well, my friends. Whenever people say that, I go, do you understand how impressive the vagina is? Do you understand how strong it is? There's a reason men have sought to oppress it for so long. The vagina is frighteningly powerful. You realize that human beings come out of a vagina. Human beings come out and still it continues to work as intended. Do you understand how impressive that is? Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but do you understand? A human being comes out of the vagina and still it continues to operate, as it continues to work. After a human has just come out, you're saying it's weak? A human came out of the vagina. You just sit on a penis wrong and it breaks. You just... I'm fascinated by racism as a concept, as an action, policy. All of it fascinates me. I read these stories in history. And one of the most fascinating things I read about recently, one of the most fascinating places, was a place called Rochester, New York, where, genuinely, this blew my mind, where they had a city which was basically dedicated to rehabilitating people who had escaped slavery. Slaves would escape from the South, they'd make their way to the North, they would get to Rochester, the Underground Railroad would get them there, and then they would rehabilitate them, put them on boats, and send them to Canada so that they could live free. And I was like, it's a fascinating story for two reasons. One, to remind you that there were a lot of good people, white people out there, because a lot of time I get angry at white people, and then I'm like, no, there's good ones, calm down. And the second part of it that was amazing was that they convinced black people to get back on boats. Think about that for a second. Somebody's just escaped slavery. They've made their way there, finally. All right? They wake up after one night of free sleep. And they walk out and it's just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, man. Well, you know what, my friend? Nobody deserves to live the way you lived, and I'm glad we got you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Okay, all we got to do now is get you some paperwork, get you cleaned up, and put you on a boat, get you to Canada, and you can live a free life. And everything's gonna be better. I'm sorry, hold up. Yeah, could you come again? What did you say? Oh, I know, the paperwork thing is weird, but we gotta get you some identification. No, you said something about a boat? Yeah, we're gonna get you on a boat so you can get to Canada. I don't, we don't do boats no more. I don't know if you know our history, but me and my people, we took a cruise one time, that shit didn't go so well. So yeah, we gotta find another way to get to Canada if you don't mind. No, but the boat is the best way for us to get there from Rochester. Yeah, that might be the best way for y'all, but we gonna walk. Hell, we can run real good. We can run, but we ain't getting on no boat. My friend, you gotta get on the boat. Man, I ain't gotta do shit.
I just got free. Imagine if I get on that boat and on the other side I'm in the same place. What they gonna say to me? Why'd you get on that boat? Because he was real nice. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting on no boat. Well, you gotta get on the boat though. You're free now. You gotta get over this. Look, man, maybe one day in a few hundred years, one of my descendants named Kanye West will be over this shit, but I ain't over it right now. So I ain't getting on no boat. And that was the day the phrase nigga please was invented. A white man turned and he was like, nigger, please, I need you on that boat. And that story was passed down generation to generation. Black person to black person, free man to free man. So then that white man got down on his knees and he said, nigga, please. Nigga, please, nigga, please. I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life. Nigga, please, nigga, please, nigga, please. I was walking through the streets one day. I was walking next to this man. I'll never forget this, right? He's standing there on the sidewalk, and the light changes in our favor. And I look to the side, and there's this truck that is barreling down the road. And I'm looking at the truck, and as soon as the light changes, the guy next to me, he just steps out into the road. And so instinctively, I stuck my hand out to protect him. I was like, yo, dude, there's a truck. And he was like, it's okay, we've got the light. I said, yeah, and he has a truck. In a game of rock, paper, scissors, you lose. But he was so confident. He was like, it's okay, we got the light. Come on, let's go. And he walked out there. He didn't just walk out. He stared that truck driver down as he was crossing, just looking at him like, I've got the light. I've got the light. You know I've got the light. You know I've got that light. I was running behind him all apologetic. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I would have stopped. I'm sorry, I've never done this before. I'm so sorry. I walked with that man for 12 blocks. And let me tell you, I have never been imbued with the confidence of another human being the way I was with him. I started that day thinking and pondering before stepping out. And after a few blocks with him, I started believing. And after 8 blocks, it was the only way I knew how to live. I had my phone out. I was tweeting and texting. I didn't play games. I'd be looking down, look up, the light would change, and I was out. I didn't care if a truck or a train was coming towards me. I was out. Because I've come to realize in America, if you've got the white man on your side, it's always going after someone. If it's not Mexicans, it's Muslims. If it's not Muslims, it's Africans from shithole countries. And that one was my favorite personally, because I am an African and I've shat in a hole. I also liked it because like people came up to me and asked me questions. There was one man who came up to me after a show, really concerned. He was like, Trevor, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, yeah, go ahead, my friend. He said, hey, Trevor, I just wanted to know when Donald Trump says all these horribly racist things, do you sometimes just want to, pack it up, leave America, go back to South Africa and escape all this racism? I said, my friend, you don't go to South Africa to escape racism. That's where you go to stock up. Are you kidding me? That's the one thing that reminds me of home. Racism out here. Because we've got tons of racism in South Africa. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten a lot better. When I was growing up, we had apartheid. And, apartheid was basically the best racism in the world. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, now you're going to feel bad and be like, oh, racism was the best. No, it wasn't. It was good, but not the best. And I experienced a bunch of racism, and everyone did. I never felt like it was a bad thing, mostly because of my family. My mother is a black woman, Xhosa woman. My father's Swiss from Switzerland. And them being a couple was against the law, and that was a problem for us living together. And so we experienced a ton of racism. And in case you're wondering, yes, Xhosa is one of the languages with the clicks in it, right? Xhosa, but not like in American movies, just so you know. Yeah, I've seen those movies where they have Africans and they're like,
That's not a language. Yeah. Even we watch those movies and we're like, I wonder what they are saying, yeah? Where are they from? I think they're from Cleveland. It's not just clicks. The clicks are consonants. We still have vowels. Yeah, I grew up in this family and we couldn't live together. I could live with my mom, but my dad obviously couldn't live with us because it was illegal. And people would be racist to us all the time. But I was really lucky growing up because my mom is probably the most gangster human being you'll ever meet in your life. Right? Nothing got to her. Nothing fazed her. And I remember one day in particular, we were walking through the streets together. And some guy across the road shouted something really mean at us. And I was about 4 or 5 years old. And I turned and I looked at my mom and I said, Mommy, what do we do if people do the racism to us? And my mom said, oh, baby, you know what we do if somebody's racist? We take that racism of theirs and we shake it up with the love of Jesus. And then we send it back. And I was like, what? And I was like, this lady's crazy. And she was crazy, but she was also right. Yeah. I didn't even realize how right my mother was until decades later, which I feel is what always happens with your parents, right? They're crazy, and then you get to their age and you're like, oh, that's what it means. I only learned the lesson my mother was trying to teach me when, as a grown man, I was walking through the streets of Chicago. Minding my own business, some guy drove by in a pickup truck and called me the N-word. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. Mostly because he was driving a pickup truck. Yeah, I just felt like that was an unnecessary stereotype that he didn't need to perpetuate. You know? I feel like if you're gonna be racist, do something different. You know? Think outside the box. Drive a Prius. Yeah. It's better for the environment and it's quiet. You can sneak up on me, we both win. But no, the guy was, he was driving a pickup truck, called me the N-word, and oh, to give you the full story, I was jaywalking, right? I was jaywalking, yeah. And I don't tell you this to justify what he did. I just want you to know that I'm no angel, okay? Yeah. I was crossing the road, and then the lights turned red for me, but I decided to walk anyways because I don't see color. This man was so offended by what I had done that he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, "Get out of the road, nigger!" Oh, and you could see he wanted to hurt me. We locked eyes, and I could see in that moment he was waiting for me to be like, "No." But what that man didn't know was where I was from. More importantly, who he didn't know was my mother. Because he thought it was just going to be a regular racist day. He thought he was going to drive by, throw the N-word out the window, carry on with his life. He didn't realize that that was the son of Patricia stepping into the road. And it happened in a moment, but it lasted a lifetime. Because I didn't even think, he shouted that word, and out of nowhere, my body was like, I was like, oh shit, this is it! And let me tell you something, LA, it was so beautiful because I didn't plan it, I didn't think about it. All I know is I stepped into the road, he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, "Get out of the road, nigger!" And I turned and I was like, "You, my nigga!" And he almost crashed and died. Yeah, I've never seen a human being question themselves so many times in a split second in my life, right? Because I was smiling, and I could see in his face, he was like, "Wait, do I know you? Do I look like someone you know?" And I don't know why he did this, but I'll never forget it. He looked at his hands. looked at his hands like they'd somehow magically turned black. Like I had cursed him with a nigger bomb. I don't even know what he was thinking. Oh, I actually felt bad for him, man. Because I've been called that word before, but that was his first time. Like, you never forget your first time, you know? Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna what? Is that what he wants? He wants to throw the word at me and then my day is spoiled? Is that how it works? And we'll be like, nigger! And I'm like, I'm a nigger. I don't have time for that, man. My mom always used to say, she said, you can't control what people do to you, but you can control how you react. So I promised myself, I said, I'll never give a racist person the pleasure of seeing my pain. It may be painful, maybe hurtful, but I won't give them the pleasure of seeing my pain. Someone says something racist, I take that racism, shake it up with the love of Jesus, send it right back. And don't get me wrong, it's not always easy. Not everyone can do the same thing. Not everyone should. I also understand that for me, it is a little bit different. You know, I have a privilege in that I come from a country where the word nigger was never used to oppress anybody. You know, we had another word, because we had the best racism, come on now, but not that word. Yeah, the word we had was the word kafir or kafir. So we had another word, same thing. It's crazy to me as well sometimes. You know, same racism, different word. And here it means nothing, right? Kafir, nothing. Yeah, some people are like, is that like a probiotic? Is that what that is? Yeah, probiotic of my pain. Because we don't have that in our supermarkets for obvious reasons. No one warned me in America. I walked down the dairy aisle. I was like, oh, yogurt, ice cream. Ah! This lactose is intolerant. So it's different around the world, and I get that. You know, it's a privilege I have in dealing with the N word. You know, in South Africa, no one was called a nigger. All over Africa, no one was oppressed using that word. So that word has no power. Anywhere you go, nigger, 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 nothing. You know? Whereas right now, I can feel the tension in this room. I can feel it. Yeah, some people are like, God damn it, wasn't it like 7 times? I get it, Trevor. That's my quota for the year. Come on. I get it. It actually got me thinking that maybe we could use that discrepancy to help each other out. We'll create a program where you guys send all of your racist people to Africa just once a year.
Because Africans will roast the shit out of them.
The best part about Africa is you don't even have to wait. You know, you just get off the plane, there's black people everywhere. Just jump straight in and just be like, nigger, nigger, nigger. Yeah, and because Africa is run and owned by black people, they're not afraid of white people there. They'll just be like, ah, Jimbo, he's back, the nigger man. How are you, nigger? God damn it, I keep telling you, you're the nigger, but you're the one who always says it. Ah, nigger man. Yeah, you nigger. Put on some sunscreen before you die, nigger. Let's go party. It'll be different, that's all I'm saying. It's always weird for me, I won't lie, because although no one used that word in a derogatory way, the word nigger in South Africa does exist, technically, right? But in my mom's language, Xhosa, the word nigger means to give. That's what nigger means in Xhosa. That's how you use it. Mna, nzoniga wena. Wena, uzoniga yena. Tina, sizoniga bona. Nigger. Yeah. So not only does that word not hurt me, when racist people use it on me, all they end up doing is bringing back fond memories of my childhood. Yeah. I get flashbacks to when I was a little kid. I'd be playing with my cousin in these toy cars. I'd always steal his cars because I didn't have my own. He'd start screaming. He'd be like, ah, mama, mama. And my mom would come running in the room. She'd be like, hey, Mr. Antoni, what's happening here? And my cousin would be like, auntie. My mom would be like, hey. Talk properly, I can't hear you. What happened? Be like, Trevor stole my toys. And my mom would be like, Trevor, did you steal your cousin's toys? I said, no, mom, I didn't steal, mom. I promise, I didn't steal. Trevor? Should talk when I don't lie to me. Did you steal those toys? I said, no, mom, I didn't steal anything. What happened was his cars were parked illegally, mom. And so I had to tow them because we can't live in a society without laws. I mean, even me, I'm just a humble civil servant at the end of the day, mom. Without laws, what we descend into chaos, mom, if you think about it. That's all that's holding us up. As a civilization, it's the only thing that keeps us be like, hey,
Don't come here with that smart mouth of yours. Give those toys back. I say, Mom, please, I just want to play with it. Hey, give those toys back. Give those toys. And I'm like, Mom, she'd be like, hey, nigga. Nigga, when I travel. Nigga, Trevor. And my cousin would be there like, nigga, please.